Anna, Blind Ambition is our next review. Now, I don't know anything about this, but I literally just read the premise of this, and I'm immediately intrigued and smiling. It sounds extraordinary.
I mean, I'm smiling,
Right.
which isn't very good podcast content, but I am smiling. Tell you what, before I describe this film, I'm just going to preface it, and I wonder where you stand on this, Rufus.
Go on.
Personally, I'm a very big fan of the very niche competition as a subgenre of filmmaking.
Yes. King of Kong,
Best in Show, Cool Runnings, that one where Alan Rickman and Josh Hartnett are hairdressers.
The Rubik's Cube one, that beautiful Rubik's Cube documentary.
Yeah, Strictly Ballroom.
You
know, the documentaries as well, Spellbound.
Gotcha.
Bring It On. We should mention Bring It On. So this is one of those. This is a documentary directed by Robert Coe and Warwick Ross, which follows a group of 4 Zimbabwean refugees who discover their passion for winemaking, for wine tasting, and that brings them together. And that also gives them a mutual goal to attend as the first ever Zimbabwean team, the worldwide wine tasting competition, which I did not know was a thing. Let's hear them.
Well, that looks extremely heartwarming and lovely.
It is exactly that. It is a lovely documentary that follows these genuinely warm-hearted and very passionate, very successful group of men as well who want to, enter the world of wine. And they do that. And it's both at the same time heartwarming because of their own personal stories. And we don't actually, and I think this is to the benefit of the film, spend that much time talking about their past or how they made their escape or, how difficult it was for them to start a new life. It's more like, and then we discovered wine.
Yes.
And now I'm obsessed with wine.
Less is more sometimes.
All of them are working as sommeliers. All of them are working in fantastic restaurants as well. And then go on to do amazing stuff in the wine world too. But it's the entry into this kind of, like I love wine, but it is a pretentious world. Right. It has a pretentious reputation. It is a very white world. So the visibility of just being able to see how the wine tasting global competition is organized, how they structure it, how much training they have to do, how that training works, how they have to hire a wine tasting guru to help them train themselves, the difficulty of them even gaining access to certain kind of old country European wines in where they live in South Africa, kind of how that limits their training versus someone who's training in, say, London. All of those things become really fascinating. These characters, these men become our entry point into this really inaccessible world. And that makes it, whether you enjoy wine or not, whether you understand it or not, I just drink it. I don't know anything about it. But the whole premise of the competition, well, my reputation does precede me.
Certainly does.
The whole premise of the wine tasting Olympics is that you are given 7 rounds of glasses of wine and they have to guess the year the country was produced in, the type of grape, the individual producer, something else. So, and they have to, jot it down. And then there's a great scene where they may make a mistake and they jot it down on one type of paper instead of the other type of paper. All these tiny like dramas.
A boozy spelling bee.
No, because they don't drink it, obviously. They just have to taste it. And it's
That's why they banned me, of course.
It's heartwarming, it's lovely, it's entertaining and engaging. And I think it's one of those docs that is so character driven as opposed to, drama driven. You really don't care whether they win or not by the end of it. You just are happy to have been along for the ride with them. So I'd really recommend this. It's out in cinemas now, and it's one of those, I think, documentaries that is going to fill everyone with joy. And frankly, do watch it with a glass of wine. I made a mistake and I watched it with coffee.
Oh, wow, you've made it to the end.
Congratulations.
Now you're here, you may want to hear about some of our other offerings.
Other offerings?
Yeah,
I know what.
The other offerings, the exclusive interviews we do on our hit subscription podcast, Kermode and Mayo's Extra Takes.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
The one where we speak to the likes of Tom Hanks and Daisy Edgar Jones, and the extra subscription content where Rowan Atkinson told us all about that famous rapping scene in Love Actually.
Yes, that's the one.
Amazing. And where would our lovely YouTube subscribers find this mystical creation?
Well, I'm glad you asked. They just need to go to kermodeandmayo.com or tap the link in the description.
That easy, eh?
That easy.
Incredible.